Hello. How's it going, people? Welcome to the stream. Welcome. It is Wednesday. The 30th of April. And yeah. I'm still lost for words. I'm cooled down compared to yesterday and during the morning time, obviously, but I'm still lost for words. Arsenal 0, PSG 1, and that's about it. Arteta got outdone by Enrique without shadow of a doubt. Arteta was pretty much clueless. It was pretty much evident that Arteta has learned nothing about the game from the previous time. He didn't change too much. PSG, on the other hand, changed everything. They did change everything, what it felt like. And on top of that, they obviously made a January signing, which played a big role in the terms of how we conceded the goal. Of course, you could say it was a bit lucky, but ultimately at the end of the day, Arsenal again screwed up everything. We're gonna get into all that. We're gonna talk about Arteta. We're gonna talk about Ødegaard. We're gonna talk about everything you can imagine regarding the game. So, smash the like button. If the pain is still there and it's maybe getting easier, maybe it is not. We still have 1 week, exactly 1 week from now. We are playing them in the return leg in Paris. I don't know what to expect. I don't know what we're gonna do, but hey, it is what it is. So smash the like button, subscribe if you're new, and leave your thoughts down in the live chat just so we can tackle them, we can discuss them, and go from there pretty much basically. So what we're gonna kick things off, the game itself. On paper it doesn't look too bad, does it? On paper it doesn't look too bad. The shots pretty much even, on target almost even, possession almost even, passes here or there, accuracy even, fouls even, yellows even, offsides for us obviously more, corners for us more, but ultimately it looks pretty much even. But that wasn't the case on the pitch, was it? That genuinely was not the case on the pitch. In the first about 20 minutes of the game, and I kid you not, for the first 20 minutes or so of the game, it felt like we were not playing. They sliced us open with two passes. One pass over the top, one through ball, quick passing, and we were not there. We were not anywhere. Our midfield was nowhere to be found. Our attack was nowhere to be found. And our defense felt like quite a bit was all over the place. Timber, again, for the first 20 minutes, as phenomenal as he has been through the season, the first 20 minutes he was shocking. Surprised it wasn't a penalty on Kvaratskhelia. He got cooked by him. Obviously, after 20th minute, we grew into the game. But again, those 20 minutes basically cost us everything. After that, PSG didn't have to do much. Genuinely, PSG didn't have to do much. They went 1-0 up early. Dembele scored a goal. And that pretty much was all she wrote. Because yes, we had the possession, yes, we had the situations going on, but I never ever got the feeling that we are in full control of the game. I never got the feeling that we actually gonna score the goal. Ødegaard on free kicks, absolute disaster. Ødegaard in general, why is he still here? Just genuinely strip him from captaincy and sell him right now on the spot. Leave him in Paris even if we lose. Leave him in Paris together with Arteta. This season is solely riding on Champions League, and you put performance like that. Utter and total disgrace. And as I said, I never got the feeling we're gonna score. Martinelli, a chance that pretty much he would have scored maybe 2 years ago. No, he barely can get it on target. On top of that, everyone in their sweet mind knew where he's gonna shoot. Let's be real, Stevie Wonder could have saved that shot because he knows where Martinelli is going to shoot, because he does the same goddamn thing every single time. How about you drop a feint and finesse it near corner? How about that? Because if you look how Donnarumma was making the movements, you already can tell that he was prepared to dive to the far post near his leg. And he saved it. Brilliant save, kid you not, brilliant save, but it was so predictable. So pathetic, so embarrassing, the whole performance. It was I don't know even how to describe it. Trossard had a chance, good save by Donnarumma, but Trossard again. Why Trossard was even starting? What is Arteta doing? I know in the preview we did this thing where we built a 11 and we said that that's going to be the 11. Merino in the midfield, Trossard up top. But again, Merino in the midfield proved that he is utterly useless there. Utterly and totally useless there. The midfield was dominated by João Neves and Fabian Ruiz. And on top of that, of course, there was also Vitinha. We did nothing. Absolutely nothing. Merino, who has never played at striker pretty much, is better at being a striker than being a midfielder. He wasn't even the best midfielder in, in the Real Sociedad. Because, let's be real, Zubimendi is better. You could argue Brais Mendes is better. So he's the third choice midfielder by default. When I said in summer, I much rather sign Fabian Ruiz rather than Merino, people laughed at me. They are not laughing now, are they? They genuinely are not laughing now, are they? Like, make it make sense. Make it make fucking sense. Utter and total disgrace. Just look at this. Just look at this patheticness. Look at this. Look at this. Big up Hendon, big up, all in the chat, just a quick hello, as the Inter Barcelona is about to start, have fun watching it, genuinely have fun watching it. The one we've all been waiting for, I ain't watching no football until the second leg, I get it, I wouldn't be watching too. I gonna, obviously, because I love football, but I have no desire to watch Arsenal play, that's how far it has gone. Arsenal is my club. For 23 fucking years. 23 years. Arsenal is my club. And it has come to a point where I genuinely don't want to watch them. Because of the manager, of the tactics, of the performances and everything. I kid you not. Our national team is not the greatest. There's no game. We are like 130th in the rankings or something, right? We barely can beat Gibraltar. Well, maybe not barely Gibraltar, but we barely can beat certain teams like Faroe Islands and stuff like that, right? I'd rather watch our national team. I'd rather watch our national championship. I kid you not. There's better quality football there. A team whose budget is basically less than one week's salary of people like Zinchenko can play better football than this Arsenal team. Much rather watch that. Much rather watch La Liga 2. La Liga goes without saying. Championship has better quality. They're genuinely, almost every single league plays better football than Arsenal. I am at this point, I'm very happy that the season is coming to an end. Because I don't want to watch this terrorizing football where Mikel Arteta is useless. Ødegaard is useless. How is he at the club? How is he getting 240 grand a week? For what? Genuinely, for what? How did he get this salary increase from 110 to 240? How? How is this manager still at the job after 5 years winning genuinely F all? How is this manager still here? Like, make it make some fucking sense. Make it make some goddamn sense. Like, he doesn't even take any risks. Because I know this was a big thing. We talked about this. I think Nathan said it. I said play Tierney as a left back, Skelly in the 6, Rice in the 8, and put Merino up top, right? Nathan was saying I was overthinking. But let's be real. It made a lot of sense. Because you had to do something. You genuinely had to do something. Merino in midfield, if the season had shown anything, he is useless there. He's better at striker. But Arteta doesn't learn. Arteta doesn't do nothing. He genuinely does nothing. One player goes out of the starting lineup, he panics. Instantly panics. Like, how is Ødegaard starting? How is Trossard starting? Like, oh my, so many answers and so many questions and no answers, and it's really getting on my nerves. On my nerves. I totally get that. I totally, utterly get that. We were pathetic last night. Let's be real, pathetic doesn't even begin to describe this. Because as I said, watching that game, I never get that feeling we're gonna score, ever. We were lucky it finished 1-0. We caught life. Let's be real, we caught life in that game. Barcola missing far corner, literally by half a meter, 50 centimeters, like half an inch what it felt like. Ramos hitting the crossbar and everything. We caught life. Somehow we still have technically a chance in Paris to go and maybe make something out of this side somehow. Like tactics were as backwards, everything. It was evident that Arteta has learned nothing from the game against PSG we played in September. On top of that, we tried to press the team who arguably is the most press resistant team in the world at the moment, who knows how to get out from the press. And obviously after that we are all over the place. We had no midfield during the game. No midfield whatsoever. Luis Enrique, immaculate tactician, immaculate manager, has built his mini Barcelona in a way in that team. And it's working, it's ticking, it's working like a charm. It's pretty much evident what happens when you put a proper manager versus a novice. And the worst part is Mikel Arteta is 5 years at the job. And I am still calling him a novice. Because after 5 years, it looks like he has learned nothing. Genuinely nothing. He makes same mistakes, same errors, same decisions he made when he just got the job. At least then, when he just got the job, he was experimenting. 4-2-3-1, 5 at the back, 4-4-1-1 and stuff like that. After second season, he has never reverted back to it. When the season was over, right, I would say 2 months ago, month and a half ago, it was evident we're gonna get PSG, for example. How comes he didn't experiment? Because we're not gonna win the league. Throw a curveball, try 3 at the back, try 5 at the back. Try players in out of positions in certain places, just so you know, just so you have a plan B, plan C, in case of this shit performances and this stuff that happens. Like, and he does none of that. When was the last time we played 5 at the back? From the beginning, not in the game when we want to hold on to the lead. Never. Since we last played it and it won us the FA Cup against Chelsea, against Man City, and teams like that, we have never done it again. When was the last time we played 4-2-3-1 in double pivot? We never do that again. Yes, maybe in game we shift into it, but as a starting lineup and as a base formation, we never do it anymore as well. Ødegaard plays, I don't know where he plays. He plays right wing, he plays number 10, he plays number 9, he drops into the 6th role, he drops into the 8th role. Again, that's on Mikel Arteta. We have no counter outlets. We have no chance to counter-attack. Because whenever we get the ball, because by Mikel Arteta's brilliant goddamn useless tactics, everyone's in our own box. Because I was watching who was about to take a shot or something. Either it was Courage Kelly or someone. There was a brilliant tackle. I was looking at it and said, yes, that's a good tackle. Now go counter. Then I look closer on the screen. Saka was making the tackle on the edge of our own box. So what outlet on a counter can you have when you have nobody forward? Nobody forward. Where does that make sense? If you want to park the bus, if you want to defend and you be all that jazz Jose Mourinho, at least make yourself available on a counter. Because by the time we get to opponent's side, everyone's set up. Marquinhos is back, Hakimi is back, Menj is back, Fabian Ruiz is back, João Neves already is pressing him and everything. Arteta just cannot get it right. He won't get it right. It's made me so angry that I want to watch football. I totally get it. I totally and utterly get it. Arteta sabotaged himself weeks ago when he decided he wasn't going to test MLS in the midfield no matter what happened with his preferred midfielder. Exactly. And let's be real, we should have a backup for Partey anyways. Because Partey leaving has been a discussion in Arsenal, in our fan base, for the last 2 years, last 2 summers. And we still don't have a backup. It took us a decade nearly to replace Patrick Vieira when we signed Thomas Partey. It took us a decade nearly. And by the way, Miles Lewis-Skelly, by default, if you look at it that way, in under 21s was a number 6 or number 8. So it made a lot of sense when we did the preview yesterday, and as I put him in the 6, test him there. Give him a chance. He's gonna run, he's strong, he's technically gifted. He's gonna do the job. And Rice, put him in the 8, let him do his thing. Because Rice was fantastic 6 at West Ham, right? But now when you look how he has adapted into Arsenal, he's questionable as a number 6. He's now better 8 than a 6 because he plays there predominantly and he's been coached to play as an 8, not as a 6 anymore. And now putting him in the 6 for yesterday did us, for our defense and our attack, more harm than good. Partey gets suspended and Arteta is too mega mind to put MLS in the 6 or 8. Exactly. For me, put Miles Lewis-Skelly in the 6, put Rice back in the 8, Tierney as a left back, and then put Merino up top. And by the way Hakimi was going forwards, trying to overlap and everything, it would have been a perfect scenario where, sorry my camera, where where Tierney could do the same thing on a counter, run and overlap. But no, he wants to invert, he wants to control, he wants the possession, he doesn't want to change the way he wants to play. And his stubbornness, his mindset that he thinks he is always right, is ruining everything right now. You could say he has done some good things at Arsenal, very good things. Let's be real, Mikel Arteta has done some good things at Arsenal. But ultimately, his ego will be his biggest downfall. You can say inexperience. And to some extent I agree to that. Because how after 5.5 years in charge, you can make the same mistakes you made when you just got the job? How can you still make the same goddamn mistakes? Tactics-wise, rotation-wise, substitute-wise, ideas-wise, ideology-wise, how can you still make the same goddamn mistakes? I ain't watching the game this weekend, dude. I have no... And as I said, I have almost no desire to watch the game on the weekend. It's what's its face? It's Bournemouth as well. Evan Nilsson's ban has been lifted, so he's gonna play. And we cannot even rotate. Let's be real. So we're gonna see again Ben White most likely, Saliba, Kiwior. We're gonna see those same players. Inter up already. God damn. Go on, Inter. Go on. You get what you cooked, and that point Arteta. Dude, he cooked nothing. Arteta cannot even cook cereal. Arteta cooks cereal for dinner. And Arteta is one of those guys who puts milk in before the cereal. He's the guy who pours hot water into the cup and then puts the tea bag in. He's that type of a guy. And when he cooks dinner, there is no seasoning, no flavors, all about tactics. Maybe he squeezes lemon. That was a mad thing I showed, but he squeezes a lemon maybe. That's the only thing he knows. Because probably his spices, all of the spices, oregano, pepper, chili, salt, all this stuff has been pickpocketed by the guys who he hired to pickpocket our players in the beginning of the season. It's not untold disgrace, let's be real. We're out, man. It's another semi-final exit, turning up injured, tired, no attacking threats, weak bench, rinse and repeat. Meanwhile, £60 million of talent is on loan and bench is empty. I guess if you don't cry, you laugh, right? And no journalist will ever ask Arteta why Ødegaard is starting. They probably are asking. Probably. But let's be real, before the Arteta's press conferences, he gets all the questions. So they basically, the media team can basically say, you can ask that, you can ask this. Oh, this is about Ødegaard and why he's playing in his bad form. You cannot ask that because that again will be wrong. They definitely scout, they read it, and then they just cross out the things you don't want to talk about. Trossard starting is just Arteta being stupid, not playing Merino up front was just... Yeah, exactly, 100%. That was genuinely one of the dumbest things he has done. Arguably, that's on the same par as playing Partey as a right back, when he did that in the beginning of the last season. Same levels. He never learns, yeah. He never learns. He hasn't learned from any of his past mistakes. Because if he learned from his past mistakes, he would have won the league last year. Let's be real. Because 2 years ago, when we were 8 points clear, he had the perfect blueprint, basically, to how to win the league. He had the perfect blueprint. Only thing he had to do is adjust minor situations and defense a bit more. Since he wanted all this control and defense type of crap going on, right? But he didn't. He went from total attacking football to total defensive football. at the end of the day, if you watch it today. From one end of the spectrum to the other. And it's doing us no better. Genuinely doing us no better. PSG did all the homework and shut us out. Our coaches did not prep for this game, failed to prepare. You go, exactly. Fully. The press only works with correct players and a high line. We can't play high with Kivior. You then have Merino, Trossard, one-leg Saka, and poor Ødegaard. That is too slow and unfit to press. That's the thing. He wants to do certain things which he cannot do. He doesn't have the right personnel, and that actually pisses me off to many extents. Because he signs players to fit his system. He doesn't change the system, he just signs the players to fit his system per se. Basically, he's trying to buy a square and put a square peg into a hole, basically. Or he tries to put a star-shaped peg into a hole, or a square, or something like that. And it's not fitting. Let's be real, it's not fitting. Why cannot he adjust tactics to help the players out, for example? Why cannot he do that? He does it for defense because the whole attack needs to play on the edge of the box of our own. In the attack, it doesn't work like that. If he actually did, he would maybe try overlapping for a change instead of actually inverting all the goddamn time. Overlap from both sides. Don't invert. Overlap from both sides, for example. Change the attackers. Let's be real. With Saka, Trossard, and Martinelli up top, it's the perfect opportunity to basically do what PSG does. Give the whole front three a free roam. At some point, Doué is on the left, Kvaratskhelia is on the right, Dembele down the middle. Then you see Doué down the middle together with Kvaratskhelia and Dembele in behind in like 4-3-1-2 formation and all this stuff. But he never does. He has his little robot pals, androids, and all this AI stuff. You put them in the box, like Saka only on the right. Put them in the box, Martinelli only on the left. And that's it. He doesn't do anything else. Big up Kwame, big up. Arteta should resign. He should have been sacked last year. Or the year before that. You are so right, we're absolutely useless. By the way, remember 2 years ago when we lost the 8-point lead, the league? There were some PR or whatever it was. Arteta said before the last season started, I contemplated leaving Arsenal in the summer. Let's be real, he should have. Let's be real, he should have. Imagine what we could do with a proper manager. Let's be real, with a proper manager, about 80% of the players we have in this team would go up a level, 2, if not even 3 levels. Without shadow of a doubt, Saka would be better. Martinelli definitely would be better. Maybe even Ødegaard would be more useful. Who knows? But under these tactics, under this regime we have under Arteta, utter, total trash. Maybe even Tierney would stay at Arsenal if Arteta wasn't here. Because let's be real, if you're a proper manager and you know how to use your wingbacks, Tierney is the perfect wingback you can have. With the overlapping skills, crossing skills and everything. Why you only need to invert? It's not even about changing the formation. Arteta doesn't put players in positions to succeed in his preferred tactics anyways. The winning ticket was to play him. Exactly. That is the biggest thing. Oh, but when he inverts, he still plays midfield. Just shove it up your ass. I have no time for bullshit today and I don't care. Let's be real. The perfect scenario yesterday was Tierney at left back, Skelly in the 6 or 8, depends how you look at it, and Merino up top. That was the perfect scenario for yesterday. Without shadow of a doubt. Utter and total disgrace. Berta must be thinking something must change. Dude, he must sack him at the end of the season. Arteta just has to go. Ødegaard is finished. He had to go up the... Ødegaard needs to go. Ødegaard needs to go. Sell him in the summer. Sell him now. I don't care. Just as long as he's not here in the beginning of the season. Arteta not brave enough. His selection... Yeah, he plays it safe. And that's how the whole team plays. Let's be real. The team is 100% mirror reflection of how the manager plays. And how the manager sees the game. Play the safe ball. Play it safe. Hold the possession. And you will eventually get the chance. Because I get the strong feeling that if you dig deeper into the stats, right? I did this one day. I'm not a stats merchant or anything, right? But per se. But I dug into this, that how many touches get put into the box. Not for Arsenal per se, but in general. how does that reflect regards to shots on target, goals and everything? And if you take actually enough amount of touches, enough amount of passes and everything, eventually you will score, right? And I think Arteta sees the game that way. Eventually it will happen, and that's the safe option. At some point it will hit and you're gonna score. Arteta plays the safe option, in my opinion. He doesn't take any risks. Because how many times you watch the game in the stadium, on the TV, and you look and you see there's a lane, like wide as the Grand Goddamn Canyon, between the both defenders, give the through ball, Martinelli will outpace the center back. How many times do you see this during games? About 7, 8, 9, 10 times. Same goes for Saka. Same goes for midfield in general from when Ødegaard drops down to 6 into the number 10 when maybe Merino drops deep. You see it every single game countless times. How many times do you think they make that pass? Maybe once? Maybe twice? That's how Martinelli yesterday got the chance. We exploited the gap that was hella wide. We gave in behind. Pause. Martinelli ran in and he got a chance. One time we played a risky pass, it worked. Otherwise, we played the safe ball. Pass it sideways, backwards, sideways, to the left, to the left, to the right, backwards. Never forwards, only to the left and to the right. And if everything fails, cross the ball. And whenever Ødegaard does this whipped cross from the left side, happens 9 out of 10 times, straight into the hands of the goalkeeper. Never to our player, straight into the hands of the goalkeeper. Arteta doesn't have a clue to choose our squad. He doesn't. Arteta is doing something he plays it safe. That's why he wants such a small squad. It's been built so small by design. He wants his main 11 and then some subs. So just they are there just in case. Maybe 2, 3 or 4 pass or chances he subs some of them on. Right? That's how he wants it. He wants 111 for the whole season. Newsflash, moron. It's not gonna work. You're gonna get injuries. You're gonna get troubles. Players gonna get fatigued. They're gonna tire out. You will need to change it up. But he doesn't want that. He genuinely doesn't want that. We play counter-attack style without counter-attacking players. Yeah, exactly. You would think that Martinelli is the perfect counter-attacking player. Together with Saka, right? And let's be real, they are. If they are not playing left wing back and right wing back on the edge of our own boxes, pretty much, they are the perfect ones. Let's be real. Yes, Saka might not be the most quickest in the team, but still he has the pace. Martinelli, without shadow of a doubt, has the pace. Aubameyang had the pace. How did we beat Chelsea and Man City for the FA Cup? Tierney lobbed the balls over the high line of Man City to Aubameyang, and Aubameyang just went. And that's it. It didn't take much. But when you force your wingers to play pretty much defense the whole game, when you get the ball, and most of the time those wingers specifically get the ball, you have no outlets. Genuinely no outlets. Gabriel should be captain. I think Gabriel or Rice, although Rice is again a bit shaky, but Ødegaard should be stripped from the captaincy, left in Paris, and sold to whoever. Don't care. Sell him for a 6-pack of shampoos to Bodo Gimps, although they themselves don't want Ødegaard, let's be real. Sell them to Valerenga, sell them to Rosenborg, sell them to Ike in Sweden, Elfsborg in Sweden, Copenhagen in Denmark, whoever. Sell them for 2 grapes and an ox to New Delhi team in India. Don't give a damn. Change it for a taco and send him to Cadiz, Elche, Granada, Deportivo La Coruña, wherever. Don't give a freaking damn. Just get him out of the club. Bro, I'm clocked out. The only good thing from this season is Miles Lewis, Skelly and Ethan. Yeah. Everything is straight garbage. And let's be real, it is that way. And let's not forget, Arteta stumbled upon Skelly and Ethan by sheer dumb luck. Because he doesn't rate Zinchenko anymore. He doesn't rate Tierney, moron. And Calafiori was injured. Kivior he doesn't trust as a left back, as we can see. So only thing he could do pretty much was drop in the 18-year-old and see if it sticks. And it stuck. He actually is better than 45 million Calafiori. He is better, let's be real. He got lucky there. Vanjeri is the same situation. Ødegaard gets injured, Vanjeri doesn't play. Everyone is annoyed. Okay, cool, it is what it is. 17 years old. Saka gets injured. He doesn't play. Havertz plays there, Trossard plays there, Martinelli plays there. Whole fan base gets pissed off, starts commenting on YouTube channel, all over social media platforms. Why the hell is Vanjeri not playing? If he doesn't play when Ødegaard's injured, let him play when, what's its face? Saka is injured. Only after we started basically to voice our annoyance about the situation, all of a sudden next game Vanjeri starts. Vanjeri plays 30 minutes. Vanjeri plays 40 minutes even. All of a sudden. Like, Arteta is the luckiest goddamn manager in the face of the earth. How do you stumble in 15 million a year? Arteta is just not built for this thing. Let's be real, Arteta probably, in a sense, is a decent manager. Let's be real. He is a decent manager. He's not a coach, but he's a manager, right? But he is not top club material. At the moment, at least, definitely. He is not material to be the manager and coach for one of the biggest clubs in England and the world. It's all cool if he goes to Valencia, even Real Sociedad if he wants to. If he goes to mid-table teams, lower-end sides. All cool. But for the top-end clubs that have to fight on all fronts, expectations are up there. He's not it. Not it. Raya, Timba, Saliba, Gabriel, Skelly, Rice, Partey, Ødegaard, Saka, Merino, Martinelli. That's what Arteta chooses. Then he changes. It's insane. It is utterly insane. I just hope Berta has a lot of power and can buy players as he likes. Berta's report must be crazy. Dude, I genuinely believe Berta's report to Kroenkes at the moment is like the red carpet. It's like, you know, when you look, it's all rolled up. It's like this big, right? And then he just opens it and it stretches out for like 500,000 miles. Genuinely. And one of the points definitely must be sacking Arteta. I really hope so. Because otherwise that report already has failed. Arguably best 30 million we can spend this summer is sacking Mikel Arteta. 100%. Bournemouth will beat us. They can run. We don't beat teams that can run. Yeah. Semenyo, Kluivert, Evanilson, they will run. They will run their socks off. And let's be real, we have big problems with that. Arteta had all these league games to try Vanjeri in midfield. Yeah, in the 10. To try MLS in midfield 6 or 8. He never did. Exactly. The worst part is, as I said, Vanjeri said himself in an interview that he plays 10. In under 21s, he pretty much played 10 consistently. He only played right wing when he came to Arsenal because Saka got injured. Skelly said the same thing. When I was in under 21s, I played number 8. I played number 6. Arteta comes out in a random interview and says, I envision Skelly as a left back. And all of a sudden he starts playing there. Same goes, by the way, with Vanjeri. Arteta has multiple times said in interviews that in few years he envisions that Vanjeri is going to be a striker. A number 9. Well, God help us all. Berta has been disrespected 100%. Inzaghi is a proper manager. Yes, Inter Milan currently are a bit of a losing streak. I think they have lost 3 games in a row, but I think they're quite focused also on Champions League. I think that they have much tougher fixtures in Serie A to win the league, but they're gonna still give it a go. Ultimately, but I think Champions League is their main focus a bit more currently. Arteta cannot cook an egg. Dude, he cannot cook a piece of toast. Let's be real. He cannot even make cereal properly. Allegri for Kwame. Interesting. Allegri. Kwame wants Allegri. Even a squeeze of lemon is too much flavor for Arteta. Probably. 100%. 100% squeezing too much lemon is an issue. Merino has sent a message to Gunners telling us why Arsenal can't come back against PSG. Big up YouTube, senses are free speech. Barcelona 0 Inter 1. So do Barcelona now just give up? It's only half time. We have gone 3 months without recognized striker. We are so close. Yeah, the only difference is we have two things. We have this, what's its face? Ødegaard, and we have Arteta as the manager. Barcelona have Hansi Flick as the manager, and they have pretty much Lopez for number 10, Firmino, Olmo. They have pretty much quality all across the pitch. Two big, massive differences. Barca will come back and Hansi Flick will make changes to come back because, exactly, Barcelona has like 70 plus goals and crazy comeback games. He's always attack. We don't have attacking power. Exactly, that is the biggest thing. We have had 3.5 years, by the way, to replace Aubameyang. We still haven't fucking done it. Still haven't done it. We had chances to have our own strikers, by the way. Balogun, he got sold to keep Nketiah and give him 100,000 a week. We had chance to keep Mikel Arteta. He gets sold to Sturm Graz, then he gets sold to Monaco. And he's begging at Monaco, by the way. Like, we had chances to have our own strikers. We have Butler or Ødegaard at Arsenal. He has kicked about the ball for Arsenal for about 3 minutes, max. Doesn't get a chance. Tierney should be starting most games. To be honest, I can see that, 100%. It's not even a proper manager. A normal manager would not complicate the team this much, and a manager will just do the simple and obvious thing, yeah. To some extent, football is a simple game. Not sure why Arteta wants to overcomplicate it. Basically, Arteta, someone has said Arteta, fold a piece of paper into 2 squares, or fold a piece of paper in half, right? Instead, Arteta tries to make it origami swan out of it somehow. Big up Terence. Yeah, Berta needs to sack Arteta. Yeah. Berta needs to prove himself before he sacks anyone. Are you on drugs? You seen what he has done at Atletico Madrid? For over a decade, he has worked under Diego Simeone. That's genuinely like working with the craziest football manager of all time. For over a decade. And his track record has proven himself. What does he need to prove to Arsenal? Arteta has more to prove to Arsenal than anything. Look, we just need Berta to have a lot of power. Yeah, that is the biggest thing. Berta needs to have more power than... Basically, we just don't... I wouldn't say we just need that Berta have a lot of power. Berta needs to have the power that is required for his job. Not like it was before, apparently, where Mikel Arteta had half the power of what Edu had. We don't need that. We don't need to have this situation where Arteta basically says, screw you, Berta, we are not signing that. We cannot have this at the club. Because it's pretty much evident that after 5.5 years, Arteta's talent ID is useless piece of trash. Yeah, Berta needs to take... Exactly. Anything Arteta wants, he does the opposite. Exactly. 2 through balls we put on the left side. Both guys can't finish their dinner. Yeah. See? We took a risk. We put 2 through balls. Everyone knew where Martinelli is going to shoot. I knew where he's going to shoot. Probably I would have saved it. Like, how about do something different? Shoot it near corner. Have a brain cell. Because he has that finish basically since he started at Arsenal. He does the same thing. You would think that others would catch up on eventually. Why can't Tierney or Zinchenko start at left back? Zinchenko at left back, no. Tierney as a left back, yes. Put Zinchenko in the 10. 100% he will do better job than Ødegaard. Martinelli and Saka playing as wing backs, yeah. We have 4-3-3 formation, yet we are playing formation like 7-2-0 or 7-3-0 or something like that. Ødegaard should be shipped and shipped. Basically, yeah. Put him on the trade to Bergen. To anywhere. Don't care. Anywhere. Just not here. Sterling got played in front of Ethan. It's exactly. Sterling got played over Ethan. Over the weekend, just before as well. Sterling started the game. Why? Because he has some clauses in his contract so he can get his annual, I don't know, salary or something. Why didn't he start Ethan? On top of that, why Ethan came on in the 90th minute only? We need a goal. We are in desperate need for a goal. He subs on Ben White. Yeah, that's gonna help. Oh, we need a goal. What do? We sub on 1 year in the 90th minute. Oh, look, but he tried. Arteta is a good coach, not a winning coach. He's good. Yeah, he's a drill surgeon, pretty much. Yeah, big up, Nathan. Arteta should be managing Celta Vigo. Dude, Celta Vigo doesn't even want Arteta. Celta Vigo actually a very decent team. How did Ødegaard play full 90? Basically played 90 minutes. Dude, that's the... You know, like there are questions how the pyramids got built and how the Stonehenge got built and all this stuff, right? That's another question for the ages, for the centuries, for the scientists, and for the philosophers of the world to figure out in up and coming next, like, 300 centuries. Berta must have come in and gone, what? They made who the captain? Basically. At least I hope so. Martinelli, bro. I'm still pissed off Martinelli missed that chance. Biarritz has scored more goals than any of... Yeah, Biarritz for Monaco has scored in 3 months more goals than any of our players. By the way, Ethan Van Yeri has better stats than Martin Ødegaard this season. Seriously. Have a brain cell. I remember when you said that to Don't see Marlon today, by the way. Today I watched great podcast. It had Troops, Turkish, Dan Potts, and Zaha. Dude, that should be nuts. Real talk from real... Exactly. Only players who played good were Kivior and Raya. Probably, to be honest. Kivior and Raya. You could say Saliba as well. Because that last ditch tackle for Saliba to prevent it from a shot to go 2-0 down, that was something I want to see from Saliba do every game. Obviously, I don't want those situations every game. But that commitment, that tackle and everything, that was phenomenal. That is why Saliba is who Saliba is. The sad thing is no one had faith that Martinelli would score there. That is the worst part, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie, that is the worst part. I saw Martinelli go there in that position. My first thought was, he's gonna put it bottom right corner. Far corner, yeah? 1 second later, he does it. If I know that, you would think that one of the highest paid goalkeepers in the world knows that as well, doesn't he? Italy international. He probably knows that as well, doesn't he? So how about you do something different? Luis Skelly was my best player on that pitch. You know, it's really hard to judge the players because for the first 20 minutes, they all were genuinely useless. Saka could have had 2 yellows and be sent off. Timber could have had 2 yellows and sent off. Timber got cooked for the first 20 minutes. It was actually kind of insane. He should have gone top corner where is the finesse? Exactly. Top corner, far top corner, or you basically or you shoot near corner. Because everyone expects low far corner finesse. Everyone expects, because Thierry Henry used to do the same thing. The only difference is Thierry Henry shots didn't get saved on such consistent basis. Doesn't matter who the best player. They all were bad. Manager sabotaged the whole thing since the Madrid game ended. Yeah, let's be real, definitely. My issue is he's 6'7". Why are you hitting it low? It has to be hard rising. Against goalkeepers like Donnarumma, finessing, unless you have insane curve on the shot, right, is quite pointless to some extent. You kind of have to power drive it through him to some extent, with him into the net. Maximum power, no setbacks, no all the handbrakes off, just full force. Hold on, we need to speak about the Saka yellow. Absolute shocking call. Dude, that foul on Mange, that was insane. That genuinely was insane. I don't want to talk about the referees, but at least for the first half an hour, the referee was pathetic. I'm not gonna lie. For the rest of the game, okay, cool, I can live with that. It's crazy, only Henry in the last 20 years can finish like... Yeah, exactly. Only Henry can finish those chances. Martinelli has been doing it for 5 years and... Yes, the referee wasn't great. He needs to be yeeted back to Slovenian 3rd division. Pretty much. Yeet him back to Chinatown, wherever. Don't give a damn. Now, you were saying Inter were 1-0 up. Are they still 2-2? Who was saying here that Barcelona are gonna lose, sorry. They were 2-0 down. Yamal and Torres scored. Who said that? Who was here saying this? Barca will come back. let's be real. Barcelona can be a bit shaky on defense. That is not a secret, right? However, their attack, let's be real, is pretty much inevitable. It's so relentless. It's with such creativity and movement, it's almost impossible to defend. Told people that Barca will come back. Exactly. Yamal called. Yeah. Barca are winning, lol. Yamal is him. 17 years old. I told you Barca do crazy comebacks. They're a high scoring team. Exactly. They know how to attack if you're control. Exactly. 100%. They don't invent bullshit as well. They have players. Hansi Flick knows how to coach a team in the attack specifically. Yet when for example, I got asked last year and everything, oh, you want Arteta sack, who you want in place? Well, I said Ancelotti, Inzaghi, Hansi Flick, also maybe Nagelsmann and managers like that. Instantly, oh, but they don't do anything, they win nothing. Man, some of these people are so tapped, it's actually kind of nuts, I'm not gonna lie. It is actually kind of insane. Anyways, let's read some waffles. Anyone's hungry? Anyone want to have some waffles about this? Anyone wants some waffles? Get your syrup, get your tea, whatever, and let's read through some waffles. Mikel Arteta has waffled once again through the press conference. By the way, I haven't read it, so it's gonna be a raw reaction from me as well. Top Newton, after Arne Slot walked in and won the league, any decent coach will do. Exactly. Arne Slot came in, signed nobody. Well, Chiesa, but he's injured all the time, so pretty much so, yeah. He tweaked Klopp's system. He plays like Klopp, Arne Slot, more or less. The only thing is, Arne Slot pays a bit more attention to defense. He makes it a bit more controlled, but it's still attackingly relentless. And it's working. Let's be real. On that note, I'm gonna start dinner, but I'm still listening. Big up, Pepper. Have a nice dinner. Enjoy your food. Anyways, Mikel Arteta, what has he said about the game? On tonight's performance, oh, this had be good. We're at halftime. Well, technically we are, I'm not gonna lie. Halftime, and my message is exactly the same following us beating Real Madrid at home 3-0, that we have to go to Paris and win the game. Well, you have no options now. At least in Madrid you could have lost, still 2-0 and stuff like that. You still have a leeway. Now you have no leeway. You win or you go out. We are more than capable of doing it, because I saw two very good teams with margins that are so small. They had efficiency in front of the goal, and their keeper as well made difference to see the result that we have seen tonight. Oh well. On whether our team was missing something, certainly. When you score a goal and concede when you have to. But we did a lot of things very, very well. We had a spell in the first half, and the game had phases. In the first 15-20 minutes, especially them scoring so early in a great combination, playing when the margin... These margins, man, I want to genuinely just... So small, the finishing is unbelievable. And then we had especially one issue that we corrected after 15-20 minutes, and we sustained at the rest of the game, which I think turned the game around. If you want to win the Champions League final, you're not in the final, bro. You have to do something special, and we're going to have to do something special in Paris to be there. What issues was the correct? I don't want to say that. Well, cocky bastard. On his thoughts on PSG's performance, that if we don't correct that, it was an issue we had with the ball. What? In a very specific moment, you don't have the chance to present. What? And if you don't have a chance to they start to bring all the midfielders back. You're going to struggle, because that's exactly what they want you to do. On what went wrong in the first 15 minutes? Here we go. Not a lot. We conceded the goal. You don't think that's a lot? I'm telling you, it's just something that it's very specific but very important. Especially the way we played. We corrected it, and it's not easy to correct it constantly, but we did it, and we did it much better. And in the end, we have 2 of 4 front players 1v1 with Donnarumma. If they scored a goal, it's different. He made the saves, and like he did against Liverpool and Villa, and that's the difference in the Champions League. The margins are so small. The margins, man. We had disallowed goal as well, and another 2 big situations that happened in the game that didn't go, unfortunately, our way. Well, it is what it is. On if the tie is still 50-50. Well, it's not, because they have the lead. I don't know the percentage, but we have a lot of chances to be in that final, and as I repeat myself, you have to do something something, especially in the competition, to earn the right to be in the final, and at the time to do is something to be good in Paris. Oh, bloody hell, he's waffling way too much. People told me Saka was better than Yamal. I don't think we looked better against Inter than we did against PSG. To be honest, we didn't. We genuinely didn't. I didn't see too much of a difference. We're gonna talk about this embarrassment of a tifo in a second. On some decisions that were made by the referee tonight, it was so clear, I don't have given many thoughts. Yo, anyone who writes this, proofread this. Proofread this, for fuck's sake. On if the game was too stop-start. No, I don't complain. They are here to try to do their work in the best possible way, and certainly they tried. Sometimes we can have different opinions, but certain situations, and that's the case. Well, it is what it is. On needing control in every single minute against PSG, you cannot. This is one of the best beating all the English teams, the best teams in this country. You cannot dominate them in 15 minutes. Impossible. Forget about it. You have to understand that it means dominating them in which area of the pitch. We have to be very clear again that we have to be on whatever. On whether the second leg performance needs to be significantly different. No. That already tells me that he has fucked something up. He already is gonna screw it up somehow. I think the margins, again, margarine, just go eat your butter and shut up. We're so small, so I don't think so. But if it's significantly better, hopefully the result's significantly different as well. Well, shut it. 2-2, nearly half-time in Barcelona versus Inter game. Anyways, speaking of the game first, Josh Kroenke was in the attendance yesterday to watch Arsenal play in Champions League. He doesn't look too happy in that picture, does it? He doesn't look too happy in this picture, does he? You want to control a game. I don't know, maybe score goals. Exactly. Maybe score some goddamn goals. That will make a big difference. Then the margins will be bigger. Anyways, let's talk about this embarrassment. If you didn't know, before the game, a week before the game, Arsenal fans started a GoFundMe. They raised about 13,000 or something, or 17,000 to basically make a custom tifo. Arsenal rejected them and did their own. If you call that a tifo, I don't know what to say. It looks like a shower curtain. Seriously, like a shower curtain. You go into shower, you close it, scrubby, washy, and all that stuff. You open it again. It looks like a shower curtain or a bed sheet, basically. The cannon also is not the full length. It's half erect, basically. It's half the size that it should be. It's not put on evenly. And another reason why people laugh at Arsenal. It's bad enough that we blast "You Never Walk Alone" on the speakers, we squeeze the lemon, we have the light bulb, we have Win the Dog, we pickpocket our own players, we have All for Nothing type of documentary and everything. Now we have this. Seriously. What the actual F is that? This is the most embarrassing tifo I have ever seen in my life. And I've been watching football for over 2 decades. Worst tifo I have ever seen. Yeah, you generally can climb. The display for Madrid was better. Exactly. We are just overrated. That's all last night told me. Yeah. Yet we get told by top gooners Arsenal are scary, scintillating, dangerous. Everyone's afraid of us and all this stuff. Nobody's afraid of us. Whose idea is this? Stop doing all this goofy crap. What's wrong with the bags? And what we do for real game? They wanted to do something special. By the way, I can guarantee you that GoFundMe that got basically rejected by Arsenal, right, from the fans, 100% would have looked 10 times better than this piece of trash. How is that even a tifo? Man, it's embarrassing. This tifo is like on what you see a tifo having on PES, and not like the latest PES, like it's football or what it's called today, of like PES 2010 or something like that. Seriously, I was wrong about Merino midfield. We missed his presence up top. Yeah, exactly. Merino in midfield plays worse than he plays as a striker. To put on top of that, a position, aka striker, where he has never played in his life. How does that make bloody sense? Seriously. Arteta has screwed up. We have bought 2 midfielders in 2 years. Spent what? 100 million on them combined to end up them playing as a strikers. PES 05, they had them like that. Exactly, PES 05. Dude, it took 2 decades. Arsenal are recreating PES 05. Maybe it's because Arsenal have partnership with Konami and they're official partners with PES and stuff like that. Who knows, but hey. PES 08, dude. Arteta goofed the selection. Whole thing is goofed, dude. Arteta just wings it every single game, and somehow he has gone lucky. This is what David Raya said about the game, and I'm not too sure whether I should be pissed off or just basically delete this. David Raya, this is what he said about the game. Prepare for this one. I thought we dominated most of the game. Created most of the chances. It's only halftime. We take a lot of positives, but credit to the players for the effort. We could have won the game. We dominated, apparently. We could have won the game, apparently. Like, I'm sorry. My camera is doing a madness today. I'm very sorry about that. How were no subs made till late? I don't know. Ask Arteta. Genuinely ask him. Ødegaard should have been subbed off at halftime for Zinchenko or Ranieri. Put Merino up top. Put Skelly in the midfield. Put Tierney as a left back. 2 subs you should have made at halftime instantly, or even since the beginning. Or you're talking like this team better show me something. Exactly. Right, but talk this stuff, better show me something. Genuinely. Martin Ødegaard as well, after the game, comes from the interview and says, we gonna go full gas for the game in Paris. I don't know if he has eaten too many beans or what, because he has gas or what, but apparently we're gonna win the game in Paris. That's what's indicating. Lokonga, Vieira, Havertz, Merino, that's what, 140 million. Vieira was what, 35? Lokonga was what, 17? Something like that. That's 52. Havertz was what, 65? That's 107. Merino was 35, something like that. 107, 142 million to fix the left 8, and they all suck at left 8. And you wonder why Cronkies don't want to give this goof. Exactly. Make it make sense. Like, what? How many millions we have spent on left backs? Calafiori, 45 million. Kivior was what, 20? That's 65. 35 on 35 on Zinchenko. That's what, 110 million, 100 million on left backs alone as well. And in the end, our best left back is the left back we have from the Highland and the one that Emery bought us before. Those are our 2 best left backs. I know Ranieri was pissed that he only got 5 minutes. Dude, if Arteta stays here, I genuinely am scared for Ranieri, for Skelly, for Max Dauman, because if they catch this Arteta-titis virus, there is no coming back. So it's like, there is no coming back from that. Arteta-titis. No cure, no nothing. So, some stats for the game. Only 2 teams in Champions League history have reached the final after losing the first leg of their semi-final tie at home. Doesn't fill you with confidence, does it? Does it fill you with confidence, does it? Doesn't fill you with confidence. Only 2 teams have done it. But it gets better. It gets better, I think, as well. It gets better, don't worry, here it is. PSG have lost one of the 2 legs in both of their Champions League knockout stages, guys. So, people hold on to this as the only hope. PSG have lost one of the two legs in both their Champions League knockout stage ties. Against Liverpool, 1-0, and against Aston Villa, 4-2. So, 3-2, sorry. So, that is the hope for Top Gunners. So, extra hope from Top Gunners as well. Arsenal women were a goal down against a French team after the first leg. Our women's team lost to Lyon 2-1 at the Emirates, and then they went and destroyed them 4-1 in their stadium. Odds on Arsenal doing this as well. Odds on. Seriously, odds on. This is what Top Gunners are saying, right? This is what Top Gunners are hoping on. However, look at this stat. This is the best stat of them all. 0 wins in previous 6 semi-finals contested by Arsenal. 0 wins in the last 6 semi-finals. By the way, notice a trend. In the last 6 semi-finals, we haven't even scored a goddamn goal. Have you noticed that as well? Emery came to the Emirates, stunk out 0-0 after they won 2-1 away at the... I don't remember. El Madrigal was it at the time or what? 0-0 against Liverpool, 2-0 against Liverpool, lost at home. Klopp schooled us with his kids team, by the way. Our main team lost to Klopp's under-21 side, pretty much. This year, Newcastle, semi-finals, 2-0 lost at home, 2-0 lost at St. James Park. And of course, yesterday, 1-0 lost to PSG. 6 semi-final games, and we haven't scored a goal, and we have lost them all. And by the way, if you include that Villarreal game, if I'm not mistaken, if my memory doesn't deceive me, that one goal we scored in the 2-1 loss was from a penalty. So we haven't scored even from open play. What do you expect is gonna happen in Paris then? It's the history of Arsenal. Exactly, those teams had great attackers. We will go out, you can't lose home games, it's the same as Bayern games. Exactly, Mikel Arteta ain't that guy. Arsenal women play attacking football and they are not predictable as men's team. Exactly, they actually have proper players as well. Not gonna lie, I wouldn't mind having Russo at striker. Chloe Kelly as a left wing, for example. Caldente in the midfield. She's 10 times better than Ødegaard. Chloe Kelly better than Martinelli. Russo is better than any striker we can have. So, let's be real. We don't play attacking football to progress. The guys are trying to play football without a striker is just sackable offense, end of story. Exactly. The fact that... Dude, it's actually like insane. It is actually insane. Yet there are these stats that Top Gunners, by the way, hold on to. For example, final is held at Munich Stadium. Munich Stadium has always, or the last 5 times there has been final in the Munich Stadium in Champions League, there has been a winner who has never won Champions League. So it's either going to be PSG or Arsenal. That's what they're hoping, and they're saying Arsenal. On top of that, they're saying this. Every single year every single time Pope passes away, English team wins Champions League. Happened in 2005 with Liverpool, happened with Man City in 2019, I think, or 2021. No, 2021 I think it was, with Benedict, and now it's gonna happen with Arsenal and all this stuff. And then on top of that, there are other ones as well. I have read all of them and I genuinely am laughing whenever I read them. Basically, it's gonna be in Paris on Wednesday. It's gonna be Partey in the 6, Merino at striker, and Inshallah. Basically, those winners have strikers. Exactly, those teams have strikers. Look at this. Look. 6 semi-finals in a row we haven't scored a bloody goal. 6 semi-finals, and half of them have been at home. Even more. 4 out of 6 have been at home. 3. Half of them been at home. Sorry, half of these semi-finals have been at home. Villarreal, Liverpool, and PSG, and Newcastle. So 4 out of 6 have been at home. Like, pathetic. Bloody pathetic. This is the excuse why Saka doesn't perform 6 against 1. You would think that our fan base would have brain cells to say, Oh, people say Saka got locked up by Menge. Look, he's being covered by 6 players. How about look at it this way? If there are 3-4 players on one, it means that there's somewhere else are 3-4 players unmarked. If you pass the ball, you have the advantage. You have more players in the attack. How about you look at it from that perspective? Huh? It's actually embarrassing, I'm not gonna lie. Anyways, let's look at some Ødegaard stuff. Optus Sport, right? Official account for Optus Sport from Australia's premium football streaming platform, right? This is what they tweeted 2 years ago. Every football squad seems to have a player like this. Martin Ødegaard's hair is his most difficult opponent. Australian sports news channels are making fun of Arsenal. That was tweeted 2 years ago, by the way. Still nothing has changed. Still nothing has changed. Ødegaard still blows his nose into his palm and then rubs it in his hair. He gets paid 240 grand a week. Not sure if he cannot afford hair gel or not. Big up Curtis for this tweet. Gonna go all out in Paris. Rice in the 8, Party in the 6, Merino up top and see what's gonna happen. Play Vanyerin ahead of Ødegaard. We will stink up at Bournemouth. Definitely. By the way, we played the Bournemouth game at Emirates as well. We will try it hard at Paris. Get slapped 3-0. This Paris game reminds me of when City beat us at home and away. Oh, bloody hell, I don't want to relive that. Ødegaard is dead when Yeri is ahead of him as well. He should be. But in Mikel Arteta's eyes, you know, Ødegaard's like his adopted child. More things about Ødegaard. This was tweeted as well 2 years ago on the dot, pretty much. Martin Ødegaard turned down Liverpool move after Gerrard tour. Martin Ødegaard, a lifelong Liverpool fan, chose Real Madrid over joining his boyhood club. In 2014, Liverpool attempted to sign Ødegaard with Steven Gerrard giving him a tour of the Melwood training complex. Ødegaard ultimately signed for Real Madrid before revitalizing his career at Arsenal, where he serves as the captain. I wish Liverpool had signed him, and if you think that is BS, here it is. Martin Ødegaard training with Steven Gerrard in this picture. You cannot see it here. Oh, you can. Steven Gerrard and Felipe Coutinho. If only Liverpool had signed Ødegaard, we probably would have avoided this mess we are in right now. Kid you not. Probably would have avoided the mess we are in right now. Mikel Arteta on Martinelli. It's millimeters offside. Was one-on-one. The keeper makes a big save. Trossard is completely one-on-one. That's the margins in the semi-final. Yeah, keep waffling. This is very interesting though. Apparently, Ousmane Dembele has for the hamstring injury versus Arsenal and will need to be monitored in the coming days, which basically means there could be a chance that he is gonna miss the second leg against Arsenal. Potentially, obviously. It's just a rumor, but there is a possibility. There is a possibility. That is the only news regarding PSG. By the way, PSG have no injuries. If Dembele doesn't play against us because of the hamstring, that will be their only injury they have as of now. That would be their only injury. Arsenal have loads, and that's the only excuse they have right now. And it's not even a good excuse, let's be real. It's a useless excuse. There's a place for Ødegaard on the bench, 100%. Ødegaard can sit on the bench, and he'll bear not on the Arsenal's bench. He can sit in the stands in Norway, don't care, just not at Arsenal. Dembele probably look at their bench. Yeah, PSG has a big squad and they will rotate 100%. 100%. But yeah, otherwise there are only transfer news we're gonna talk about tomorrow. We're gonna talk about them tomorrow. For today, we are done. Well, kinda done. Currently, Barcelona Inter still 2-2. Second half has just begun. Will be interesting to see how that happens. But, of course, Arsenal lose to PSG. Embarrassing, pathetic, shambolic, to say the least. Arteta, useless. Ødegaard, sell him right now, strip him for captaincy and all that stuff. Better not see him start on Wednesday next week. We need 6 players. We need even more than that, don't we? Even if we keep this squad, right? Keep just this squad, which is 23-man squad. We are gonna lose from these 23 men, right? Potentially Partey, right? We have to assume because it is what it is. Jorginho, Tierney. Of course the loans. Neto, Sterling. We are losing 5 players already. There are rumors Trossard might leave. That is 7. We need a goal. Then we're gonna lose maybe Karl Hein. Who knows? I'm not gonna include that. And Trossard and maybe Zinchenko. That is 7 players. Kivior is under question mark, but let's just say 7. We're gonna lose 7 players just due to the fact that they're gonna run out of contracts, or loans gonna expire, or we're gonna sell them. Now we need to replace them, right? So we need to sign again 7 players. But that is not enough, because we still need to sign striker, a winger, left winger, 2 midfielders, technically a left back, and a goalkeeper. Those are your 6 players. Which means we need technically 11 to 13 players in the squad unless we promote half of the youth team, right? Which basically we are in a rebuild, within the rebuild, for the rebuild, that started 5.5 years ago after 750 million spent, where about 300 million has been spent on defense, 350 or something like that has been spent on defense and goalkeepers, 250 has been spent on midfield, and about 100 has been spent on attack only. That's about it. So we need a rebuild for the rebuild, about rebuild for the rebuild, that was made for the rebuild we started 5.5 years ago. Absolute disgrace. Ødegaard, dude. We got owned by the same person you said. No, I didn't. Never said he was overrated. I just didn't rate him. Another season down the drain, yeah. Another season down the drain, Mikel Arteta strikes again. Genuinely, best signing Arsenal can do is terminating Mikel Arteta's contract at the end of this season. Best 30 million they can spend this this summer window. 100%. But yeah, I think on that note I'm gonna end today's stream, because I need to get as far as I can from PSG and Arsenal and all this stuff. Tomorrow we're gonna talk about rumors and all this jazz, so that's gonna be a bit more chill, a bit more relaxed. But again, it's gonna get heated just because we need so much, and I'm not so sure how it's gonna come on, from where it's gonna come. So time only will tell. But I hope you're feeling better after yesterday. Genuinely hope so, because I'm still kind of annoyed, pissed off, and gonna punch something. So hopefully you're feeling good. By some freaking miracle, I'm not gonna lie, we are still in the tie. Should have been about 3-4-0 yesterday. And it isn't, it's only 1-0. So technically, on paper, we still have a chance. So, I don't know what to do. Pray for Arsenal, I guess. Pray for Arsenal, I guess. But anyways, as I said, on that note, I think I'm gonna end today's stream. So smash the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe if you're new around here. Have a nice evening. Enjoy your time. Today I have a day off. Tomorrow and day after tomorrow I have days off. No work. Yay. So good luck with that. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your evening. Enjoy your day tomorrow. Take care and see you very, very soon. I am